Hi everyone, this is Yana Smakula and thank you for stopping by. Today I have a quick video to share with a few cards made using Simon Says Stamp October 2016 card kit. I'll be doing some simple stamping today to create almost one layer projects. So here's the look at the stamp set I'll be using. It's called Nutty Over You, and I think it's a really well-designed set that has been thought out well. You have your squirrels in two different sizes, some great handwritten sentiments, and also a lot of smaller images that were great for stamping wreath, backgrounds, various patterns, and all sorts of things. Now, before filming this video, I brainstormed a few ideas and I sketched them out onto a piece of paper. This is just printer paper, and I often like to do this. It just helps me to visualize my process and my thinking, and I find this to be very helpful. After I've sketched out something, I often like to test stamp it, to pick out the best colors of ink and just to test my idea out. And here's actually one of the test pieces that I did for my today's video. This just helps me to waste less paper, less good paper. I'm going to start by folding the card base included in Simon's October 2016 card kit in half. It's pre-scored, but I like to flatten the fold line with my scoring tool from the Martha Stewart scoring board. Now I'm going to go ahead and place this in my mini MISTI and start working on my card. I first want to stamp a wreath, and for that, I need something round to draw a circle shape on my paper so that I can stamp a perfectly round wreath. You can eyeball it, but I find having that pencil outline very helpful. Once I have that done, I'm going to start working on the card by first stamping the squirrel in the center, and I'm using Hero Art's brown ombre ink for this. I'm going from lightest color at the top to the darkest color at the bottom. And I'm going to double stamp this image for a nice and crisp impression. You can stamp the wreath first and the squirrel later. It doesn't really matter much for this card, but I just wanted to stamp the squirrel first. I also added a sentiment below and it reads Nutty Over You. I actually replaced that sentiment with a different one that was heat embossed in white embossing powder over brown cardstock, as I didn't quite like the way this particular sentiment turned out. So now I'm moving on to stamping the wreath itself, and I've picked out a few images I want to use, plus a few colors of ink. I'm starting with khaki and this little branch, and I'm going to stamp it in a few sections onto the card base, following that pencil line. You'll notice I still have my card base, and I'm stamping directly onto the card base, by the way, so I still have my card base in my mini MISTI, but I'm actually using a clear block to stamp with. I recently moved, and I don't have a good desk yet. This is just a cheap table from Walmart, and it's kind of impossible to stamp on it. So I'm using my MISTI as a stable and flat surface to do my stamping. I'm also adding another leaf, and again stamping this in khaki color. And I'm going to speed this part up just a little bit so that this video isn't too long. The next leaf image, and this one looks like an oak leaf, I'm stamping this one in catkin, and I'm overlapping the images just like they would naturally overlap in a wreath. So I'm not doing any masking. I'm not a fan of masking lately, I don't know why, this might change soon, but right now I don't want to do any masking at all. I'm also using a small leaf cluster and stamping it in the same green color to fill in some of the blanks on my card. And finally, I'm going to use the lightest brown color from the brown ombre ink to stamp a few additional leaves. I first plan to stamp several berries using red, but once you use red, the wreath starts to look like a holiday one, and I wanted it to be a fall wreath. So I used this orange color, this is bright Tangelo archival ink, to stamp these images. I've never used archival ink before, I don't have any archival ink pads in my stash, but I really like this type of ink and this color, and by the way, this ink cube comes in Simon's October 2016 card kit. I also added a little acorn sticker from Little Bee, it's also a part of the kit, and I really like those stickers. They look like real wood, although I think they're probably made out of plastic, but they do look very pretty and very realistic. So here you can see I've changed the sentiment to a heat embossed one, and I am now using Nouveau drops in ripened pumpkin and adding some dimension over the stamped berries. On a card like this, a simple, almost one-layer card, it is important to add little accents. So I also added some shimmer using my Wink of Stella glitter pen, but I'm not sure if it shows up on the camera. Be sure to head over to my blog to see 2 more cards created using Simon Says Stamp October 2016 card kit. If you're looking for a list of supplies, I have that on my blog as well, and also down below in the video description. Here are a few additional videos you might like to watch. Feel free to check them out. I hope you liked this project. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet done so. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time. Bye!